All right, let's get an update here on what just happened in the Cohen and Donald Trump trial. Cohen is still on the stand. Oh my gosh, it's got to be the longest days of his life. He is being cross-examined. Remember, he's the key witness in this Donald Trump trial with Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, he's really, without Cohen, there isn't even a case to be brought. You have to believe Cohen, because much of the evidence that you would need to make Donald Trump into the bad guy here is specifically based on things that Cohen has said or done and has sole knowledge of. He's the only person saying it. So you have to trust Cohen.
Yeah, it all went through him. He's the guy who, if he dropped dead hit by a bus, the whole thing would be gone.
And, just to remind listeners, the Michael Cohen situation is not a good one. It was never a good one, even when Trump was there. I believe he won our least reliable human being on earth competition for 5 straight years.
He did.
He is not reliable, and was not reliable back then, is not reliable now. The media has just decided to try to rehabilitate him because they need him for this case. So the Todd Blanche, the attorney for Trump, is questioning and going after Michael Cohen to try to make him look as credible as he actually is, which is not at all. And he went to him and talked to him about a specific transaction with a company called Redfinch. Redfinch was an IT kind of company that Michael Cohen was dealing with, and what they were doing with this company at the time is somewhat embarrassing, I suppose. They were trying to rig online polls in Trump's favor. So if you remember, at the time, these polls would come out. Who do you think who should win the Republican nomination? This is in the 2016 election, and Trump would win overwhelmingly. Even when he wasn't winning in the normal polls, he would win overwhelmingly on every online poll.
Right. This is why we've always said online polls are ridiculous.
They're useless. Yeah.
Everybody rigs it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Although
to some degree, people will be like, I'm going to vote, and hey, vote on this, vote a million times, whatever it is.
Right. And this is apparently a professional effort to do that. And they were going to pay, they were owed $50,000 for their efforts in this front. Now, Cohen apparently, and this has all happened on the stand, Cohen was supposed to pay $50,000 to this company, but ended up only paying them $20,000. He still, however, asked for a $50,000 reimbursement from the Trump organization. Blanche, the attorney, asked Cohen, hey, did you lie about this? Cohen, on the stand, says yes, admits that yes, he did lie about this.
Wait. Mm-hmm. So he just admitted, I just want to make sure everybody understands, he just admitted to cheating a company out of $30,000.
Yep.
Asking his own company or his own firm, Donald Trump's firm, to pay the $50,000 to him, which he was supposed to pay. He only pays $20,000, and what does he do with the other $30,000?
I mean, he pockets it. It's interesting. The reporting on it, it's a little hard to tell whether he actually said this or whether he just sort of agreed to it. But Blanche, the attorney, brought up the possibility of him having the money in either a duffel bag or a brown paper bag. Now
that's where I like to keep my money. It's safe that way.
It's the Fonnie Willis banking system.
Yeah,
that's the way that works. So he goes to this and he says, "Okay, you had this duffel bag of cash. Where was the cash?" He goes after him on this. He then tries to really focus this because what you said is true. Of course, if you are an employee of a company or you're working with a company and you charge someone $50,000 and then pocket $30,000, that's what we would all recognize as theft, right? Like you're
embezzlement or theft.
Yeah, you're just stealing money from the company that gave you the $50,000.
Wait a minute. I just want to make sure. Stu, Sarah, you both understand that concept, right? That's theft.
I'm not sure what he's saying, Sarah. Can you?
Okay, go ahead.
So the Trump attorney says, and tries to get this down and get everyone to understand this, because in case people don't understand, this is stealing. He says, quote, "You stole from the Trump organization, right?" He, by the way, Cohen was reimbursed for about $100,000 in these expenses because he was always getting double the expenses for taxes. So about $100,000 in all.
Wait. Like, what do you mean he was getting double for taxes?
So he was getting, like, if he took $50,000 to do one of these shady dealings, like he did with Stormy Daniels.
All right. He had to pay the taxes on it.
Yeah, the Trump organization would pay him basically double so that Cohen wouldn't get stuck with the tax bill. So Cohen would pay the taxes as if it was income, and then he would still be left over with the same amount he paid to Stormy Daniels, or in this case, this IT organization. So the quote is, "You stole from the Trump organization, right?" From the attorney. Cohen admits, "Yes, sir." He says on the stand. Now, even the New York Times writes this up this way. This is another big ding to Cohen's credibility.
Ding?
Yes. Jurors have heard that he has lied to Congress, tax authorities, and on the witness stand, and now they are hearing that he stole from the Trump organization.
Now, I've had dings in my car.
Yes.
I would say this was a massive wreckage where the car would be totaled.
I'd argue they totaled the car on this one. Yes. I don't know how you could possibly believe this guy anyway. You know, some of the stuff, like if there are text messages or other people supporting it, maybe you could say, all right, well, he's telling the story. There are a few other pieces of evidence that agree with it. And that has happened on some points during this case. But generally speaking, they are relying almost solely on Michael Cohen to be the voice of credibility. And now we know that not only has he lied to everyone else in his life, by the way, including his wife, we didn't even include that in the list, who he lied to when he took out all of this money on a second mortgage and tried to hide it from her by his own admission. He's admitted to lying to all of these people. Basically, you're supposed to believe that he has taken every moment of his entire life and filled it with lies with every person he's ever dealt with, except this one moment where he's sitting in front of you on the witness stand.
Okay, so hear me out on this theory. OJ Simpson. I think this is a political version of what happened to OJ Simpson. And I hope it doesn't turn that way, in the end. But if they find him guilty, it will be exactly what happened with the O.J. Simpson case, except this is political, not racial. The jury hates him, Donald Trump, so much that no matter what the facts say, they'll deem him guilty. Where O.J. Simpson, the jurors wanted a black man to beat the system, beat the man, so badly that they admit it now. They voted for not guilty, even though they believed the facts led to guilty. Mm-hmm. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's what this feels like to me, because it's in New York. Any other place, but in New York, can you get, with this judge, can you get a trial that with jurors, enough jurors to tell the truth? And by the way, just like, do you remember, were you old enough to remember the O.J. Simpson trial?
Oh, yeah. I certainly do, yeah.
So O.J. Simpson, if you remember right, there was speculation, can the jurors ever identify themselves if they find him guilty? Because the black community was so for O.J. Simpson. And I would ask the same thing. Can these jurors, all from New York City, can they live a normal life and live without danger if they release him?
Because I'm certainly not going to get invited to many parties.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No. I mean, what are all of the other factors that are coming into this?
Yeah,
this is tough.
You do. Isn't there a moment here for you, Glenn, where you think a little bit about just the legal system and the fact that it's supposed to work and that we have a tradition of people judging these things honestly? Isn't there at least a possibility that of a hung jury? Isn't there one or two people on this jury maybe that look at this and say this is a joke?
There only needs one.
Yeah. Do you think?
And it is my hope that there is one that will hold out and say, no way. No way. I'm not changing my vote. No. I don't care about what you guys say. No. Hopefully we can pray that there is one person. I mean, assuming we're not in the jury room, but what it looks like here, this is an assault on our judicial system, just like I think OJ Simpson was an assault on the judicial system. I understood that one a little more because the black man had been, just raped in our judicial system for so long that it was still a travesty and awful, and I hated it, but you could see it. This Is merely politics. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Politics.
They see this as their last opportunity to win this election in a way.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
The other three trials are probably going to happen before the election. Obviously, if Trump wins, he'll throw out two of them, right? The federal stuff will all be thrown out. This feels like their last chance, and they're looking at this as an opportunity. And coming into this case, Glenn, it was a weak case. Everyone knew that. The fact that it has gone so much more poorly than they even expected has to rise to some level of
you think
of opportunity for this to be shot down, right? I mean, it's if you have any faith in the legal system, and look, criminals do go to jail in New York, right? Like it's not like every single time they're wrong. I mean, Yeah, I think that's true. I'm pretty sure. I mean, sure, Harvey Weinstein's out probably walking around. Right? Forget that example.
The plants of New York all over are just like, keep Harvey away from me.
Right. I mean, they don't charge anybody in New York for crimes anymore unless your last name is Trump. But I mean, if you think about the average person in New York, again, remember, the Trump attorneys had a chance to throw out anyone they thought was massively liberal and against Trump to an extent. They did their best to find people they thought they would be treated fairly by. I mean, if we are really at the point where they can't find anyone to judge this rationally, we are at a real crossroads as far as our legal system goes entirely. Right? I mean, this is not just a question about Donald Trump and this election. It's far beyond that.
Alan Dershowitz has said it. This is Banana Republic time.